Today in our lineup here on The Now, we were talking about the reality of your water bill likely going up again. It's climbing faster than the cost of most groceries and gas. We're going to talk about what's behind this. And new cars, they come with so much technology with the goal of keeping you safe. Certainly if you use those features, why a lot of people are actually just turning them off. Also this.
Hang it up! Hang it up! Hang it up!
Gap, the latest company getting attention for its impact on the environment, the changes that this group wants the store to make to cut down on waste.
Thank you, Chris. You're watching The Now Indy on RTV6. I'm Amanda Starantino. It's an ongoing problem in Indy. Dogs and cats abandoned on the streets, causing Indianapolis Animal Care Services to overflow with animals. Due to IACS's decision to close the dog kennels to the public last Saturday, they reached capacity with the number of animals in the building. IACS closed the dog kennels to clean them to help prevent the parvo virus from spreading. Parvo can be deadly for dogs. So today, the agency is holding a special adoption event to help connect their dogs and cats with a loving family and a forever home. And in turn, this helps clear some space in the shelter, which is often full.
We struggle day to day to move animals out of the shelter. We always have as many animals coming in the door, if not more, than we have leaving with adopters. So we are barely getting by with cage space on a regular basis. So when we do have to shut down for a day like we did on Saturday, it just creates an issue. And without the public support to move animals out of here, we don't have space for the animals coming in.
IACS says don't let the recent news about parvo discourage you from adopting, because every dog at the agency receives the parvo vaccine as soon as they come into the shelter. The adoption event runs until 6 p.m., so you are running out of time today, but all adoptions are free for the rest of the month. The shelter is on Harding Street, south of Raymond, on the southwest side. And right now, the search is underway for whomever vandalized a local park. Pendleton Falls Park in Pendleton posted these images on Facebook. As you can see, someone spray-painted messages in the park's bathroom and in its parking lot. Pendleton Falls Park officials say they will be offering a monetary reward to anyone who provides info that leads to those responsible for this vandalism. Kyle, it's gorgeous out right now.
Yeah, making our way through the middle of the week and some beautiful blue sky, enjoying the much lower humidity there across central Indiana throughout the day today. It has been a little bit breezy. That's really been our only weather issue right now out of the west and northwest, around 10 to 20 miles per hour. But look at those temperatures in the middle 70s for us. We reached 79 for that afternoon high, so not quite cracking into the 80s this afternoon. And the big picture on the satellite and radar shows dry conditions. As far as you can see right now, we will get in on some small rain chances over the next couple of days, but heading out there this evening, dry conditions, no worry about any rainfall here. We'll have mostly clear skies. Our temperatures lower 70s at 8 o'clock this evening with our sunset at 8:23. That wind will relax here a little bit. As we get to 10 o'clock, it's only about 5 to 10 miles per hour and 64. Our temperature at 11. Overnight lows going to be dipping down into the middle and upper 50s. And we talked about those rain chances, not going to be seeing those much throughout the day tomorrow. We'll talk about when they'll return in just a few minutes. Chris.
Measles cases are growing so quickly, the CDC is now warning the U.S. could lose its measles elimination status. Corey Rangel has a look at the spike in cases and why it's putting this status in jeopardy.
The World Health Organization declared the United States eliminated measles back in 2000. But now the U.S. could lose its measles elimination status by October because of a growing number of cases. Dr. William Schaffner is an advisor to the CDC on vaccine issues.
Losing the elimination status of measles is an embarrassment.
The World Health Organization removes the elimination status when measles have been spreading continuously for a year. In New York, an outbreak has been blamed on people refusing to vaccinate their children. The epidemic started nearly a year ago.
If that continues to the 1-year cutoff point, bang, they take back the elimination card.
Nationwide, the CDC says there have been more than 1,200 measles cases in 30 states, but most outbreaks have been short-lived. But Dr. Schaffner says what happens in the U.S. can have implications across the world.
I'm concerned it will reduce the motivation of other ministers of health around the world in trying to eliminate measles in their countries, because they'll say, gee, If the U.S. couldn't maintain it, why should we work so hard on this?
The CDC plans on releasing a detailed statement next week about the country's measles elimination status. In Washington, D.C., I'm Corey Rangel reporting.
Corey, thank you. And Pinterest is not the place to go to for vaccine advice. Some new changes on that website starting the Now newsfeed. The site's saying that if you search for vaccines on Pinterest, it'll direct you to health organizations. Pinterest is trying to fight misinformation from spreading online. An important recall now out of the kitchen. Whirlpool is recalling more than 26,000 glass cooktops with touch controls. The company has received more than 100 complaints about the surface turning on by itself. Whirlpool will install a replacement for free. Now, Apple is saying sorry for possibly listening into your conversations with Siri. The company was letting contractors see what some people said to the voice assistant. Apple will relaunch the program this fall, but you will have the option to opt out. Well, ahead in our lineup, new car technology. It can keep you safer if you actually use it. The reason people are turning those features off and what the car makers are doing about it.
We get it, Dad. You never will.
Welcome back to the Now Indy on RTV6. New information into the newsroom. A man is dead after crashing into a tree during a brief police chase on Indianapolis' northeast side Sunday evening. The Marion County coroner has identified the driver as 46-year-old Dennis Thomas. IMPD says officers were in the area of East 32nd Street and Schick Drive when they saw a silver Impala ran a stop sign. Now, investigators say officers then tried to stop the driver, but the vehicle drove off and a short chase began. Police tell us the Impala hit a tree. Medics rushed to the scene, but police say due to what appeared to be movement inside the vehicle, officers treated the scene as a barricaded subject, so they called SWAT officers to help. But police say when they got to Dennis Thomas, he was unresponsive and then pronounced dead at a local hospital. IMPD is conducting an internal investigation.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of driving a new car, but some new car owners are quickly learning that they weren't ready for all the bells and whistles that come with that new ride. JD Power found some advanced driver assistance systems people just find them annoying, like lane keeping. That's one of those that alerts you when you're veering out of your lane, but more than half of people find it so overbearing that they actually just turn it off. Other people say the technology doesn't always work, and manufacturers, though, are working to improve the features in hopes of building more trust.
This is a critical technology on the way towards automated, fully automated vehicles. And so consumers are definitely asking the question, if my car isn't maintaining its lane consistently, or if I don't actually like this technology, how are cars going to drive themselves?
Now, the findings weren't all negative. People were satisfied with technology like blind spot warnings and backup cameras.
With each of these driver assistance technologies, there is a portion of consumers that say that they have avoided an accident in this first 90 days of ownership. So that's definitely a positive experience.
And while driving assistance may be confusing or annoying, dealers are doing a better job of teaching drivers how to use them. Some brands are doing better than others. Kia, Hyundai, Toyota, Chevy, and Ford all having vehicles ranking the highest for best technology. Well, Marriott now showing those small little toiletry bottles the door. The hotel chain says by getting rid of them, it'll eliminate the use of nearly 500 million bottles every single year. Now, instead, you'll see large bottles or pump dispensers in your room. Marriott's move comes as companies like IHG and Disney have said that they're getting rid of those bottles as well. Also, a couple changes coming for United customers. First off, your frequent flyer miles will no longer expire. Delta and JetBlue also have the same rule in place. Second, you can now pay for your bag fees before you get to the airport. Company reps say United is the first major airline to provide this option. All right, back to our lineup here on the Now, and it seems like we just cannot get a break from those expensive water bills, and they're likely going up again this year. We're going to talk about what's causing this, but also how you can save.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Let's start the Now news feed, and this device you see right here, it is a hot seller in Japan. It's actually used to stop groping on public transportation. The stamp, well, it allows victims to mark gropers with ink that appears only in certain lights. These stamps sold out in a half hour once they went on sale. Well, here's a reason to have a glass of red tonight, because London researchers say red wine has more micronutrients for your gut than any other kind of alcohol. Those nutrients found in the skin of red grapes. Well, the uber rich just don't want a standard house cat. Many of of them buying cheetahs. Problem is, they're doing it illegally. Hundreds being smuggled out of a part of Africa every single year, and experts say the animals could one day be extinct because of this. The start of a new school year can be especially dangerous for college students. More than half of college sexual assaults happen from the start of the school year through November. Now, that's according to Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, also known as RAINN. Now, new students in their first and second semesters, they're most at risk. Experts say that some newer students, they might not just be aware of the resources that's available to them, and students also can worry about how this might affect their social life.
These are students who are making new friends, they're expanding their social circle, and we know that 8 out of 10 rapes are committed by a perpetrator known to the victim.
Now, another barrier is the fear of not being believed, and RAINN wants people to know that it's not just victims who need to act. So they're using this acronym, that's CARE. You see it right here on your screen. The group wants bystanders to do something. Now, C, you see right there, that is create a distraction. And then A stands for ask directly.
Too many times as human beings, we underestimate the power of simply asking someone directly, are you okay? Do you need my help? Do you need to talk?
Now, R is refer to an authority, which could be police, could be an advisor. E is for enlisting others, which is getting more people to help. The Me Too movement has encouraged more survivors to come forward. There is a national sexual assault hotline. You see it right here on your screen. Good number to know, 1-800-656-HOPE. That is staffed 24/7 to help victims get the resources available. Now, if it seems like your water or sewer bill is just getting more expensive every single year, you're not alone. Annie Taylor's taking a look at why that is and what can be done to keep costs down.
At home and places like the bathroom, overall, we're doing a better job of conserving water, but we're still seeing our water and sewer bills go up. On average, more than 3% this year, paying a little over $100 a month. Now, this is according to Bluefield Research. Water and sewer rates are going up faster than inflation, groceries, and even gasoline. Now, part of the reason is no matter how much water we use, it's costing water departments more to keep those systems running. Labor and energy costs are higher, and in many places, the pipes and systems are old.
There are savings available if we could invest in maybe more energy efficient pumps, for example, or be more proactive about maintaining our pipe networks. But because we've been deferring maintenance on those assets, the cost of running them has gone up in recent years.
For people with low or fixed incomes, water and sewer are becoming unaffordable. So some cities, they're realizing this and are doing tiered pricing models, meaning once you go over a certain amount of water, prices then get higher. Others are basing bills directly on income levels. At home, there's value in taking a look at your appliances.
There's been tremendous gains in the past few decades in terms of kind of per person water use at the household level. If you think about kind of water efficient appliances, dishwashers, washing machines, low flow shower heads, things like that.
Now, here's the deal. In some places, rates may not increase for a few years, and then suddenly utility companies have to raise them a lot in 1 year to cover costs.
Thank you, Annie. If someone asked you if you would like to win a dream home, chances are you would say, sure. But working for you, John Matarese shows us some big downsides you need to know about so you don't waste your money.
Wouldn't it be great to win a house? It's not like winning the lottery, but in most cases, you have much better odds. Unfortunately, if you don't know what you're in for, that dream home could turn out to be a bad dream. We all dream of this, whether it's Publishers Clearinghouse, HGTV, or maybe a local real estate firm. Winning a brand new home is a dream come true. That is, until reality hits. A report in CheatSheet.com says most home winners don't stay in their new home more than a year. Why? Because owning a dream home is pricey. Cheat Sheet says a house worth 3 times your old house has 3 times the maintenance costs, from AC bills to cleaning to taking care of that gorgeous yard. And from the dozen that stink file, the biggest downside of winning a dream home, the tax burden. Cheat Sheet says taxes on HGTV dream homes are insane. Doesn't that stink? Not only can you end up with a $20,000 annual property tax bill, but winning $1 million home counts as $1 million in income, which means you owe a couple of $100,000 to Uncle Sam. And you can't just give the government a bathroom as your tax payment. In the end, most winners don't keep their winning dream home. Of 21 winners of HGTV's contest, just 6 have stayed more than a year. But at least you can dream, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese for RTV6.
They say there's no such thing as a free lunch. I guess that goes to homes as well. All right, well, we look over Monument Circle, and you can see that there's no problems in the weather department today. Again, a little bit breezy, otherwise beautiful with our temperature 77 degrees. Look at that humidity, just 40% right now with that west breeze around 17 miles per hour. We have had some gusts up over 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Right now, 28 mile per hour gust in downtown, gusting to 24 miles per hour out of the west in Muncie. That's keeping those temperatures very comfortable. Lower 70s right now in Crawfordsville, 76 degrees in Greensburg, and Muncie at 77. You'll slide back about 20 degrees for that overnight low with mostly clear skies. 57 for the number as we start off our Thursday, and it will be a sunny day once again for us. Temperatures lower 70s for you at 11 a.m. Your lunch hour in the middle 70s, and we'll continue to climb close to that 80-degree mark. Lots of sunshine out there, so don't forget, if you are going to be working or spending any time outdoors, make sure you got that sunscreen here, even though we've got the comfortable temperatures. Your high 81 in Kokomo, Frankfort, and Lafayette tomorrow afternoon. A little warmer in Martinsville, Morgan County at 84 degrees, 81 in Connorsville, and you'll make it to 82 in Greensburg. Spencer at a toasty 84. So TrueCast, we're going to keep things dry throughout the day tomorrow. 7 o'clock in the evening, we start to see a complex of showers and a few thunderstorms trying to work their way into the western portion of the state. Could have some gusty winds, certainly some heavy rainfall, but that storm system quickly fading as it slides off to the south and east. We'll keep a tab on it for you over the next few days of your forecast, though. Small rain chances until we get to the second half of the weekend, and even there on Sunday, it's just 30%. Chris?
Fewer high school students are playing sports. Participation dropping last year for the first time in 3 decades. High school football numbers went down for the 5th straight year. Now, from straws to cups, plastic's impact on the environment is getting a lot of attention right now. And Kai Beach found that some people are angry with the store Gap, and they want the company to hang it up.
The plastic that's made of your plastic hangers takes decades, if not centuries, to biodegrade.
A social media celebrity is teaming up with college students and calling out one of the country's biggest clothing retailers for what they claim are unethical environmental practices.
Did you know that you've thrown away tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of plastic hangers in the last 10 years?
Filmmaker Dan Mace is working with college buddies Jackson Dumas and Carson Philbin.
Do you guys have a megaphone?
To bring attention to clothing empire Old Navy for putting what they say are millions of plastic hangers in landfills. Now these college kids claim they have proof of the pollution.
Then I don't want you at all.
Dumas worked at Old Navy for 18 months, and during that time, he says store management told him to throw away thousands of plastic hangers.
Hangers from my Old Navy. This amounted to over 265 pounds of trash by Gap standards.
But rather than tossing them in the dumpster, he took them to his parents' garage.
Testing.
Now Dumas and others are taking this fight to the doorsteps of the company's headquarters in San Francisco.
What's the plan? Go get some answers. That's the plan.